Hi there, this is Jonny Miller from Point Blank Online Music School, back with you once more right here to show you some cool stuff with Ableton Live 8 and sounds, samples and loops from clickproduce.com. Today I'm going to be looking at a WM Entertainment's artist series package called Funk the House by an Italian DJ by the name of NDKJ. Really cool pack, this quality sounds. I've gone through these and had a really good listen to them all, and as well as your kind of standard sort of house loops, which are all incredibly well recorded. The sound quality on these is fantastic, just the range of drum loops that we have here, really loads and loads of different flavors. I was quite surprised with the depth actually of they're all house beats essentially, but they all have a very sort of different and unique flavor to them. We've got drum loops, we've got musical loops as well. So, if house music is your thing and you want to get that kind of uplifting house vibe, then this is the one for you. I've put together a little sketch here, just making some drums and a little bass part from some of the one-shot samples. So we've got one-shot sound and effects. We've got a little folder for that. And I've taken some drum hits and I've made up this little impulse kit here. Just 3 sounds, just a kick, a hat and a clap. And I want to make something quite a little bit more kind of techie, just to show you that you can, you don't have to be into the soulful house and the kind of upfront clubby house. You can make something a bit more underground and a bit more deeper with this stuff too. I've also used one of the bass loops. This is written in the A key. And this is just a nice sort of little rolling bass line. Got plenty of scope there to use clip envelopes to maybe change the melody at some point. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these synth shots sounds and create a little melody, a little riff using sampler. So I'm just going to go to Live Devices and load up the sampler instrument if I can find it. Here it is. There we go. Just drag that onto this MIDI track. Go back to the sound library and let's load up one of these samples. This one I'll do. And most of these actually are in key, which really helps. Now all I need to do is hit record on one of these clip slots on this track, and I've got my controller keyboard here, so I can just record something in. Okay, so I've got my keyboard and let's play a little riff. That'll do. Hit stop. Let's go in and edit that now. So there's the riff that I just captured the recording of. I'm just going to quantize that, so hit Command U, and I'm also going to move all those notes. Let's just do this. Let's zoom in a bit so you can see. I'm just going to move all those notes with my arrow key back to the beginning of the loop and just kind of clean the loop up a bit, really. Clean the length of it up. And now that should be ready to go. That'll do for now. The fun comes when you go back to sampler and start adjusting things here. I'm just going to give this a bit more volume first. And just right here, just on the left hand side of sampler's main display, we've got this little arrow here. This is the sample start point. I'm going to see what type of sounds I can get just by moving this sample start point forward. I'm kind of trimming down the sample. I'm just going to get a bit more volume. Now let's put some delay on this too. So I just turned up one of the sends there. I've got a ping pong delay set up on a return track. Let's bring the end point into to get like a slightly more clipped pattern. So I'm restricting here what part of the sample actually plays. And quite often you can get quite a different feel just by doing that. turned down the delay and turned up the reverb. Let's try loading some other samples in. I'm going to keep this going, and that sounds kind of nice, but I'm going to try some other samples too. Let's try this one. Just pick it up, drag it in, and you'll see there how the start and end points remain the same as I load up the different samples. Just trying them out really. Let's try some more. That sounds quite nice though. How about number 11? So that's an organ sample. Not so keen on that one. How about 13? Oh, that's nice. So once you find a sample that you like, it's just a case of trimming it down really, stripping it right back and using the start and end points to just play a tiny little snatch of the sample. And you tend to get a really nice kind of snappy feel. Now lastly, on top of that, we can just use sampler's filter here if I switch it on, just to give us some nice kind of filtering action. So I'm just applying a low pass filter effect there. Start to give me an idea for how I'm going to build this track around this little riff. So there we go, using sampler to create a little riff line. I recorded the little riff just using a MIDI keyboard, and the notes there, as you can see what I played in, it's nothing too clever really, just literally just working down the scale and then back up again. And sometimes, you know, the simplest riffs can end up being the nicest ones, the best ones. Using the start points and end points of the sample just to create a nice snappy riff line. So you can learn loads of cool stuff like this at pointblankonline.net. And yeah, I'll be back again very, very soon with some more cool little tricks with Ableton Live 8. And sounds and samples from clickproduce.com.